Hi everyone, you probably hear people talking about communication all the time. Everyone needs it and wants it. But what exactly is communication? Let's try to understand in today's video. Viewer, the word communication comes from the Latin word meaning to share. So communication is sharing of information between two or more individuals or within a group to reach a common understanding. Communication is a process of exchanging informations, idea, thoughts, feeling or emotions or through speech signals, writing or behaviors. Communication is important in every part of life. It helps us to connect with others and understand to each other. Without good communication, it is really hard to build a strong relationship. So it helps us, as I said earlier, to share thoughts, idea, and feelings in a clear way. Importance of communication is basically your ability to communicate clearly, share thought, feeling and idea that will help you in all your relationship. For examples, you can inform about something or you can influence others through your communications. So communication skills are those skills which are needed to speak and write properly. A person who is able to speak appropriately whilst maintaining eye contact with evidence uses varied vocabulary, articulate speech to suit the need of audience is generally said to be an effective speaker. So, as a student, you may study any language, but it is important that you are able to read, write, speak, and listen well to communicate clearly. Speaking more than one language can help you to communicate well with people around the world. So in present time, a true knowledge of language with communication skills is very important or in any occupations or to set up a business. So effective communication can happen if we follow the basic principles of professional communication skills. So there are different method of communication skills which include the first one is verbal communication and second one is non-verbal communication. Now let's talk about verbal communication. Verbal is when we speak to someone, it is most common way to share idea. Verbal communication is sharing of informations by using word. So it is what most people use as a method of communications. Verbal communication is important because if you do not use the right word, you will cause confusions and you will not be able to communicate. So let me tell you advantage of verbal communications. So verbal communication is easy and quick. You can say what you want and get a quick response. So it is an easier form of communications. And if when you have to exchange idea, so you keep changing your communications as per other person's reply. If I talk about disadvantage of verbal communication, so the most common disadvantage of verbal communications is cultural difference between the sender and the receiver of that information. So this difference may be due to the different language and inability to understand co-equals phrases used by other individuals. Since verbal communication depends on totally word, so sometimes meaning becomes confusing and difficult to understand if the right word are not used. Now let's talk about the second part of communications skills, which is non-verbal communications, or you can also say visual communications. So what happens non-verbal communications is the message we send others without using word. So we send signals and message through expressions, body postures and facial expressions. So for this you need to learn some body language like a gesture, body posture, facial expressions and eye contact and even handshake, etc. So now we are absolutely at the end of video and it is all about conclusion. Viewer, good communication is all about listening, not just talking. When you listen, you understand better and show respect to others. So it is important to pay attention both work and actions. So in a digital world, we also communicate online, say, text message, or social media that help us stay in touch. But face-to-face conversation are still very important. That allow us to connect more deeply. Effective communication build trust and make people feel good. So it is essential for working together and solving problems. Next time whenever you talk to someone, focus on clear and kind communications and definitely it can make a big difference in your relationship or career growth. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.